Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Overlord. So, in the last episode, Nazarick had completed its subjugation of the lizard people, and Ainz discovered the greatest sea in the world. Her name is Sheltier, and there may have been a little bit of jealousy going on from Albedo, from me, possibly some other people as well, sitting at home enjoying this anime. And let's see what that Nazarick is up to in this episode. Let us begin in 3, 2, 1, play. It's a very nice chandelier. Very lively people. Oh, Sebas, so we're gonna check on him in Solution? I think Solution was with him if I remember correctly. I'll take the usual, please. Extra onions, don't forget that again. And how you are with that. Oh, wow. Sebas really is a classy man, isn't he? He's like whipped that out and fully prepared. To get you studying the magic of this world. No problem. Her name's Sheltier. Makes sense. I'll take 3. Well, 1 for now, I guess. Okay, this is where you haggle down to 1 gold, Sebas. I guess haggling's not classy, so oh well. Shadow Demon, I know you're there. So he is with Solution, just kind of doing his own thing right now. I know what you're thinking, but this is not Konosuba. That wonderful succubus establishment does not exist here. I guess a certain variation of it could exist. It's worth trying, at least. Is that it? Why do I get the feeling that's not a sack of potatoes? If I had to venture a guess, I'm going to assume there's a cute girl inside there. One way to make sure, you know. I don't know why you throw out something so wonderful, so... But... Still pretty sure it's a person. Person that's not in great shape. But definitely a cute girl, that much is certain. But wow. She's seen better days, I'm sure. Wow, man. You can feel the sympathy coming off of him. I guess a classy individual like him couldn't handle having some filthy hands on him. Still a little bit harsh, though. Just take her home, give her a nice sponge bath. You know, she'll be fine. I mean, if you don't want her, I'll take her. I mean, he's willing to buy some cheap magic spell, but not willing to take home a free girl in a sack. I feel like his priorities are a bit messed up. I mean, I'm sure he'll do something with her. I mean, it'd be kind of a pointless scene otherwise, and this just wanted to show how savage he was. It was kind of... I thought they were just kind of looking at me since they're looking at the camera. Walking and looking is pretty much the... No, I'm fine. Just, you know, it's okay. I walked from down the road. I mean, you threw it out. Finders keepers. You can't change your mind. You can't change your mind. uh, And remind me never to get a job there. I'm asking for a friend, because he may want to take her home. Oh. Wow, so he really is gonna take her home. Well, take her. You don't really know whose butler he is, do you? I want to know before I kidnap you. This is very important. I want to give her some water or something. Your compliance isn't really a factor. Yes, you got a problem with that? Take it up with my boss. Them. 8 fingers, that doesn't sound right. Well, maybe you shouldn't have thrown her out of your establishment in such a conspicuous manner. Yeah, I remember that from the first season flashback. It's compensation now, shut up. Yeah, just leave me alone. I don't care what you do, just go away. Did you find another cute blonde girl on the streets? You have me. If only. That'd be a good place to start, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping her. She followed me home after all. Yeah, there are plenty of uses for her. Don't mind if I do. Just make sure to be thorough. That's what matters, and man, she really does look messed up. Even in the dark. Good old touch me. I can almost guarantee it. I wouldn't look at it that way. Damn. Jesus. Yeah, I think we've heard enough. Yeah, so use them. Well, you're not in charge, so you don't get to decide. And I think it's a good fine use for it. Wouldn't have to ask me twice. Yeah, I'm sure Ainz wants to be a part of this. Yes, sir. I wouldn't be able to continue arguing to that face either. If only. I advise against that. Yeah, she looks a lot better. I promise you it's not poison because it'd be pretty silly for me to heal you and then poison you, so don't worry. Yeah, she is quite pretty when she's all been all cleaned up. But man, she really lit up when she got that food in her mouth. I mean, solution could be a problem, but... To the best of my ability is much better than guarantees. But yeah, I do feel pretty bad for her. All joking aside. We'll just be glad you were saved sooner rather than later. Because you did get very lucky in this case. You don't need to apologize. uh... Just take it. Here, it's not clean anymore, now you can take it. I know, right? It's probably the best day of that handkerchief's life. I bet she's worried about that. I'm guessing not. Suwada, that's gonna be a pain to pronounce. You have a nickname? A little bit of a smile there. And she is not happy about any of this. There's some things you shouldn't ask a man. Yeah, humans have names. Well, you know, the important question is who cares? I am reminded a little bit of Nabe and Ainz in the first season. Yeah, you can definitely tell she's not happy about any of this. Oh, we're checking in on this guy? Brain, or whatever his name was. Yeah, nice try. Only Irons is a match for Shaltir. Hey, you almost broke a nail that time. uh, bit of a crybaby he was. And he's somehow still alive, that coward. So I think we got a glimpse of it at the end of the first season anyway, but so we kind of already knew that. Slightly more so than usual. He did almost die, though, once. The same incident where he met Irons. Yeah, isn't that what we saw at the end of first season? Well, you're stronger than a lot of people, but not the important characters in this show. Have you been talking to Solution? Slightly more attractive? Ow. Yeah, because you're human, you do have limits, but doesn't mean it's not worth trying to get stronger. uh, Somebody's self-confidence took a major pounding in that fight. That fight. Sit down, I ain't done talking to you yet. But yeah, what a downer. I mean, he's not really wrong. Hey, buddy, what's up? Something the matter? And then he gets the same treatment. And they're from the opening, yeah. What about the other two? So basically twins, I take it? So what exactly are you trying to accomplish? Okay. Yeah, so our stay at a safe distance. So we're gonna be busy, in other words. Back to the 8 fingers. Still bugs me. Because whether it's referring to 1 hand or 2, there are not 8 fingers. TNT. I can see. Evil Eye. I can't read. Back to the Evil Council. Guessing that's the 8 fingers because the hand in the background. Yeah, I think we just saw that too. So not a chance to forget. You sound so bothered by it too. Well, nothing's impossible. Yeah, very secret. Coco doll. Golden Princess. Eight fingers of 6 arms. Yeah, we'll see how that goes for you. You know, now that Nazarick is getting involved. So I'm glad we got to see the 8 fingers in this episode where they were name dropped at least twice. In 2 different scenes, I should say. You know, when I saw that woman in the bag, my first thought is that the princess we saw in episode 1? I don't remember what the princess looks like well enough to say for sure, but... like, we really didn't get to see much of the princess in the first episode either. Just kind of, hey, I'm the princess, this is my buddy Climb. I might look at a side-by-side comparison to see, but... either way, it was a fine catch by Sibus. If I was his boss, I'd give him a raise for that. Yeah, the mage really don't like humans. So, that was the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Overlord. And this episode, it pretty much focused more on Sibus' side of things, more than Ain's as far as Nazarick goes. And he was out and about doing his business away from Solution. He was just kind of sitting at home, pretty much. And he came across a girl that was thrown out like a sack of potatoes. The guy just threw her out, went back in the door. Then he acted all shocked that somebody came along and, you know, tried to pick her up. Of course, Sibus's first response to her was, you know, don't touch me with your filthy hands. But in the end, he actually did protect her and try to, you know, save her, help her, bring her under his protection. And Sibus was made by Touch Me, which I think... a little bit of lag there in the recording, but anyway. Touch Me, who I think is the one that originally saved Momonga Ainz back in the day. Like the one that was being all heroic about it. I think that's the same guy. So, obviously some of his influence, Touch Me's influence is going to be within his creators, like, you know, with everyone else. So yeah, he can't, apparently saving somebody is common sense, so that's what he did. Solution, not a big fan of any of this. She voiced her concerns with it, but she's very much lower ranking than Sebas, so she doesn't really get to make decisions in this regard. Luckily, she didn't, eat Suada, so that's good. And Suada was in very bad shape when they found her. Like, they listed off all the problems that she had, and it kind of reached a point where I was like, okay, stop. I get the idea. You can stop now. But they did heal her. She's all fine now. Well, fine. I wouldn't call her fine. She's much better than she was before. So I'm sure most of the mental damage is still there. But, Sebas was very much a very classy gentleman to her the whole time, which I'm sure helped a lot. And yeah, I still think she looks a little bit like the princess. I don't know if that's the same character or not. I know shows and fiction have done that before, like a princess falls on hard times, like gets kidnapped or whatever, and ends up like a slave in the slave trade. So that could be what they were going for here. I don't know. Like I said, I have to look at them side by side to see if they are the same person, but you also got to check in on Brain and Strunov, who they apparently found each other. And Brain is very depressed because Shaltir opened his eyes on just how weak and insignificant he is, which he did not take too well, so he's full on depression mode, which Strunov is, I guess, kind of trying to help with a little bit. And then that was that. And then we got to see, oh yeah, the Eight Fingers was name dropped earlier in the episode. And once again by this, I don't know, vigilante group type thing, who are basically burning stuff in an attempt to stop, the drug Black Dust from being produced. And the Eight Fingers were, mildly bothered by that. They had their little evil council meeting where they discussed it. And I'm pretty sure Sebas is going to have to deal with the Eight Fingers now that he is taking up this girl under his protection, Suada. And so that'll be a thing at some point. The Eight Fingers, the 6 arms, and of course the Eight Fingers office has a freaking hand with 8 fingers on it. So I guess that answers that question, whether it's a hand with 8 fingers or 2 hands missing a couple fingers, and it's the former. And one thing, before Sebas, to bounce back, before Sebas actually saved her, he asked her if she wanted to live, if she had the will to live, because if not, he wouldn't bother with her. And so he asks her, and she says in a very, very soft voice, like you could barely hear it, they didn't even bother to sub it, but she did say, Taskete, to save me. Like, you really could barely hear it. I still wish they subbed it, but whatever. So yeah, that's why he chose to protect her. And just handed the guy who employed her, some platinums, like, hey, go somewhere. I don't care, just leave me alone. And that was pretty much the episode. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon, and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.